Hey there, and welcome to my lazy review of the new film called Renfield, starring Nicolas Cage as Dracula and Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I first saw the trailer for this, I was instantly hooked because if you're gonna have Cage just go full Cage, why not cast him as Dracula and just holy shit, just great casting, and I wanted to see this. On the way home, because I caught a Saturday matinee, I stopped at the liquor store, tried the stuff right here called Christian Brothers, which is brandy and caramel coloring. It says very smooth. And my take is, Dracula, Vatican, things of that nature. But Christian Brothers, I'm hoping that this tastes a lot better than Christian Boys.
You're playing a very dangerous game.
Yeah, it's Vatican and everything Christian. But anyway, so let's try this stuff out. And yeah, I've just been on this big Sprite kick and stuff. And Sprite, zero sugar, why not? And seems like it goes good with everything. But how did I feel about this film with Cage being Dracula? Because it's not like it's his first time starring in a vampire movie. I mean, we've all seen Vampire's Kiss, or at least at this point, you've seen a meme or a GIF or at least a YouTube clip of Vampire's Kiss, and just check it out, okay? But beforehand, let's try this out, all right? Yeah.
It tastes so good.
Pretty good Christian Bros, but so yeah, Renfield. I saw it, just got out. Should you see it? How to feel about it? Did Cage live up to the hype of being full Cage as Dracula? Give me a second to talk about it. But beforehand, you have to enjoy my intro. Ready? You should try it sometime. Okay. So Renfield, what's it about and should you see it? Now, Renfield is a servant of Dracula. By most accounts of lore, he's what you would call a familiar because he's not a full-on vampire. He can still walk around during the daytime. And he has access to like long life because they show a flashback of like 80 or 90 years ago and he looks exactly the same. He also has access to a fraction of Dracula's power. He powers up different times during the film by eating bugs. It could be a cricket, it could be a fly, it could be a beetle, just whatever is in his area. So the first time that he meets Dracula, I'm laughing because I'd watch an entire film because it would be glorious. Just showing the whole 1940s kind of like grainy vibe and stuff, and Cage just overacting and hamming it up. And like Cage is channeling his inner Bela Lugosi. So no doubt, if they had a whole hour-and-a-half movie of just Renfield and Dracula in black and white, fuck, I'd pay to see it.
I'd buy that for $1.
Some time does go by, and Renfield is getting tired of being Dracula's familiar. Dracula gets into a fight with members of the church, and they trap him in this spell.
We will protect you. You have the word of the most trusted institution on earth, the Catholic Church.
And for the first time in a long time, Renfield can actually break free of Dracula's control. But as any toxic relationship, Dracula is Dracula. He's a fucking narcissist, and he gives Renfield the entire speech. You're my servant. I need you. And also, like, I give your life purpose. And like, who would you be without me? And Renfield, like any idiot, he helps Dracula. He helps him break free. But during the process, Dracula gets severely injured because he's hit with a bunch of sunlight. And I'm not going to lie, it's funny as hell seeing the makeup department after Dracula is fucking maimed by sunlight. More time goes by and we see Renfield from the trailers in this support group, and Dracula has to get back to full power. How does he do this? Well, he has his familiar bring him victims or people that are not good people, because Renfield, to his credit, he's trying to be a good person and he's not a bad guy. He's picking certain victims from the support group, just like whatever, abusive ex-boyfriends or criminals, mafia people, things of that nature. And it's also the running joke of Dracula's having a long time to heal because Renfield is picking him really shitty candidates. And you can see it in the trailer where he's like, I need more pure blood. I need nuns and like a bus full of cheerleaders. And it's funny as hell. Besides Nick Cage's mannerisms, when you see Dracula still kind of fully healing, his jaw's disfigured, his like ears falling off and shit too. And it's just really gory and cool looking. But yeah, Dracula, he needs some better blood.
I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
Eventually, Renfield does meet Officer Quincy, who's played by Awkwafina. And this is my main criticism of the film, is that I have no problem with Awkwafina. It just seems like Awkwafina is playing Awkwafina in every single fucking movie. He helps her out, saves her life, she's a cop. And to get into this entire subplot where she's a cop and there's a bunch of crooked cops and there's a whole bunch of mafia ties, and mafia is paying off different police officers, and now Renfield is kind of helping her out with dealing with people that are corrupt on the force. And by doing so, what happens is one of the mafia guys, which I can't forget his name, sorry, I'm drinking, but the guy who voices Sonic, he goes to Dracula and says, hey, listen, your boy Renfield's here. He's being a good person. He's helping out the cops. And now Dracula is pretty pissed off. And you're like, oh shit.
You deserve only suffering. I will unleash an army of death. Everyone you care about will suffer because you betrayed me.
Dracula confronts Renfield, and you can see in the trailers there, Dracula goes to Renfield's support group, which is pretty goddamn funny, but it still comes down to Renfield trying to break free of the control of Dracula. So Dracula joins the mafia, I'm not making this stuff up, and then Renfield, with Officer Quincy, has to take down the mafia and also Dracula. And that's pretty much it. It's not a complicated story. It's not very in-depth or very deep, and honestly, it doesn't have to be. So let me just give you my criticisms and also my praises. As I said earlier, my main criticism is no disrespect to Awkwafina, but just that I feel like Awkwafina and her character have way too much screen time, and there's like a lot of screen time between her and Renfield that should be going to Renfield and Dracula. I feel like at like a little bit over an hour and a half, if they shave 15 minutes off, it would be a lot tighter of a film, but also this is time they should be showing to Renfield and Dracula. So that's my only main criticism, because the good part is Dracula himself, which is Nicolas Cage, and as you can imagine, just every time Cage is on screen, he's Cage, he's over the top, he's insane, and it's just glorious to watch him play Dracula. And also, him and Nicholas Hoult have a very good dynamic as, you know, master and servant, or Renfield and Dracula. And yeah, I just wish, like, I mean, truth be told, if they took Awkwafina out of the film, I would have been totally fucking fine with that. It's not a big deal, but it's there, okay? And in terms of like the fight choreography, because the fight choreography was fantastic, and every time Renfield does have to power up, it's like, it's just so over the top and glorious. You see fucking blood splattering, he kicks one guy, rips both his arms off, he's beating people and stuff, it's in slow motion, and it's just really fucking fun to watch. So in terms of the comedy,
Some call me the Dark One, others the Lord of Death.
myself, my son, everybody in the theater, we're all laughing our asses off by how ridiculous everything is. I did catch this as a Saturday matinee, and when I tell you to rush out and go see this, because the horror comedy, like, you know, genre is kind of thin and stuff, and it's just, I'm all about being blue collar and everything, and how you spend your money. I would not recommend like going out to see this right away on a Friday night or Thursday night. As I said, for me, I caught a matinee showing, and I would rate Renfield as a very good matinee movie.
Bingo! Maybe we better catch that matinee.
So yes, a very good matinee film, and damn sure if you guys want to skip the theaters, rent it sometime, have a couple drinks, you're gonna laugh, the blood and gore is over the top, and Cage, he's just caging it up as he always does. The worst part was there wasn't enough of him, because every time he's on screen, he just steals the fucking show in the way that only Nicolas Cage can. So that's pretty much it, guys. I have to, as I always do, check my watch, and low on time, I have to get ready for my wonderful job.
I hate my job.
I'm gonna finish this, grab Bender. Hope you liked my review, and yeah, I had a pretty good time drinking this Christian Brothers and not Christian Boys. Okay, so let's grab Bender. You ready?
This calls for a drink.
Yeah, pretty good. So now I have to edit this stuff and then head back to work.